What's happening, everybody? Yeah, I'm back in my room, and sorry if you can still hear the traffic. I gotta have the door open because the baby's asleep in there. Sorry. I'm chooching on my emerald. I won from Flat Cap. Awesome cob. Awesome. Yeah. What am I chooching on? I've got this gigantic tin of McBaron's vanilla cream. And I've had this tin. It's actually the first tin I think I ever had. And I think I've only had 2 bowls out of it. And I was disappointed. That's why. I looked in a bunch of B&Ms for McBaron's vanilla cream after reading all about it all over the internet, watching some reviews on it. And it wasn't what I hoped for. But I decided to revisit it tonight. I'm not sure why. Because I've been revisiting a lot. I guess that's why. And I got this big old honking tin of it. I'm going to bring it to Pipe Club tomorrow. Because upon just opening this tin and smelling it, I knew I had been hasty. It wasn't a sweetie, ooey gooey like I wanted it to be, that's all. But I'm over that kind of now. And now I'm finding this quite pleasant and actually sweeter than I remember it. It just wasn't as sweet as my raspberry. That's why I didn't like it. It's a loose cut. You can smell the Virginias in it, and there's definitely some black calf. Maybe some burley. I can't tell for sure. And it's got like a fermented thing going on, like it has like some kind of alcohol in it, a rum or something. Angelina has someone spending the night. Her friend Morgan, her bestie. Angelina was up all night last night gaming and watching videos and everything else. She passed out on her friend. It's just me and Morgan hanging out. So I came out here to make a video. It's only 10:30. Huh. Kimmy will be home soon. So I was gonna tell you guys a Halloween story. I don't really believe in ghosts so much, although I get scared of them at times. I have been. And I'm gonna just tell you about the creepiest place I've ever been. My buddy used to draw caricatures of people at Knott's Berry Farm. And he was talking to a couple other caricaturists. And after work, they decided they were going to go visit the scariest place in the world. And my buddy decided we got to go get Matt. And I happened to be hanging out with Rika, my friend Richard, fathead. And we went along. I had never met these other 2 cartoonists before. But we drove over to Downey, California. Pretty close to where I spent much of my childhood, actually. but I was never aware of this place called the Los Amigos Hospital. Los Amigos, Rancho Amigos Hospital. The story I had at the time was that it was a hospital built for World War II vets that were coming home paraplegic. And when they all, got released or died off, it became a polio hospital. One of the most famous polio clinics in the nation, where Dr. Salk worked out of and everything. And then when that went away, it became kind of a prison hospital and a mental ward at the same time. And a lot of gangsters were paraplegics were being housed there. How much of that is true? 25% of it I know for sure is true. That's the polio part. I suppose I could do some research. Anyways, it was deserted. This is off Firestone Boulevard in Downey. And we pulled off the side of the road, ran across the street, down some railroad tracks, past some homeless guys camped out in the pitch black darkness, with a couple girls with us. And we crawled through the fence and ran across this crazy field through all this brush and emerged through all the thicket into a courtyard. A very creepy courtyard outside an abandoned, very institutional, old school looking, intimidating building. And walking through that courtyard, it looked like it was once a pretty nice place to hang out and maybe even have a pipe in your wheelchair, And you could almost imagine ghosts of people sitting in wheelchairs out there. Place had some atmosphere. And of course, there's barbed wire everywhere, broken glass everywhere, graffiti all over it. And the place was pretty much wide open. And we walked our way through there, and it was the scariest place I've ever been. And we walked by rooms with shackles on the walls. We walked by rooms with construction paper hands with kids' names on them all over the walls. We found a slide for paraplegics to be slid down. And lots of other things. And it was scary, okay? It was scary. And we made it out, and it was great. That's not the end of my story. I have been to Los Amigos Hospital 3 times. The second time, however, is the one I'm highlighting today. A couple days before Halloween, one year, a whole bunch of my friends were gathered at James Torres' house for a day of drinking and Lord knows. And we were loud and we were rowdy. Dave, Mike, Josh, the Persian Fist, Vincent, Fathead. I mean, everybody was there. Johnny McGran, Cody, rest in peace. Everyone was there. Frank the Tank. And a bunch of the girls. A bunch of the girlfriends, I should say. And we were rowdy. And we were in the backyard taking turns having wrestling matches. We're big wrestling fans in my neighborhood. The Chainsaw neighborhood. See that chainsaw? I'm the first of 20. We all got these things rocking. 19 of us now, I'm afraid. And a couple unofficial ones. People we did not sanction. Oh, man. I haven't seen but one of them in years and years. A couple of them. And we were body slamming, suplexing, drop kicking off the top rope. I mean, we were crazy. And eventually, James' mom, Carmen Torres, rest in peace, Carmen Torres. I guess this is back in like 2001, 2000, something like that. She came out with a broom and started chasing us and hitting us with a broom. Get out of my house, you crazy! She loved us. She really did. She was always so good to us. And as soon as Carmen's upset, we know that's when the party's over and we all cleared out. And we're all out front deciding what we're going to go do. Well, a couple people remembered that we had that crazy story about the haunted hospital we went to. And all of a sudden, everybody wanted to be taken to the haunted hospital. And we were like, no, man. There was like 4 or 5 of us last time. Now there's like 16 of us. There's no way we'd get away with it. We're drunk. We're loud. No way. We went. We went. We took a video camera with us. I really should go get the video. We used to film a lot of crazy stuff. Very crazy stuff. So we drove down to Downey. Several carloads of us. We went down the railroad tracks, through the fence, through all the brush and thicket, across the courtyard, to find that the haunted hospital, everything was absolutely boarded up this time. We broke in. We broke in pretty easily, if I remember correctly. And I think we climbed up onto a roof and kicked in some wood on a window, and we were in. And somehow it wasn't as scary the second time. And we were loud, and we were rowdy, and I think we were throwing furniture out of 3rd-story windows. I remember like a library of bookcases, a whole room full of bookcases. Boom, 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 boom. It was so loud. Just papers flying everywhere, people's psychiatric records and stuff. We all went down the slide several times. We found a piano. It was broken. It was more broken after we got done with it. And after we had a good time really tearing the place up, we went outside to leave. And we were about to head out when the girls were like, we gotta pee. Like all of them, all at the same time, all had to pee. And Richard liked to call me Matter after the Metallica song, and nothing else matters. He said, I'll watch the girls, and his girlfriend was there. And I was jealous of that, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Not because I'm a creep. We all started heading around looking for a way out. I couldn't find the hole we crawled in. But we found a fence we were going to jump in. And we all jumped on it and started to climb over when bam, bam, the lights were on and we were caught. 2 police cars on the other side of the fence both pulled up, and the cops yelled on their speakers, everyone off the fence, we're coming around, stay right where you are. And we're like, damn. So the cops came back and they lined us all up and shined lights in all our eyes and gave us all little tests and everything, and made us all get on the fence and searched us all, one at a time. And I had the video camera in my hand with all the evidence they would ever need to show us just wreaking havoc in this place. And if they were really mad at us, they would have checked the tape. They didn't even say anything about it. And I was one of the first ones patted down and searched on the fence. And I'll never forget, everyone was laughing so hard because they were patting me down. They're like, "Oh, what's this here in your pocket, huh?" Pull it out. "Oh, it's a Boba Fett Pez dispenser." What do we have here? Some kind of a pipe? Nope. Half a roll of sweet tarts. Awesome, huh? And they pulled me back, and I had the camera rolling the whole time. And I was holding it down at my side, and I got everyone else's pat downs and one-liners and wisecracks all on tape. It was so good. And then they lined us all up and said, "All right, you guys, just in case we find any dead bodies." Oh, well, first of all, they took 2 of us. And while I was being searched on the fence, another cop was searching Vincent. Vincent is my really huge, half Puerto Rican, half Japanese friend. Vincilando. Reverend Wolf. He's a sword swallower and a fire eater. Anyways, like I said, he's half Japanese. And I remember, not long before that, his aunt had gone to Little Tokyo and bought him this little kitty cat head that was made out of some kind of metal. And it was thick. Just a 2D cat head. And you could put your fingers through the eyes, and the ears were sharp, and it was brass knuckles. It was a keychain. Stuff's good. And when they were searching Vince, I heard his keys jangling, and I heard a cop say, "What does this look like here to you, partner?" And I knew it was that stupid keychain. I knew it was. They arrested him for that felony. And he was the nicest one of us. Probably broke nothing the whole night. Big quiet Vince. Poor guy. They lost him for like a week in the LA County jail system. We were all worried sick. His mom was calling all of us trying to get us to help find him. And finally they just let him out a week later and dropped the case because they screwed him up. Sent him from jail to jail to jail and didn't know where to find him. And they took Frank the Tank, who was the youngest one of us at the time. He was probably 19. But he had an ID that said he was 22. And they arrested him for it. I forgot who picked up Frank that night. But not Vince. We tried. Anyways. The cops took all our pictures, and we all did dumb wrestling poses and stuff, and they let us go. Some of us were pretty good smartasses too, and they must have got a kick out of us because they let us go. So they were happy they got 2 of us, I guess. I don't know. So, is Kimmy home? Other than that, Richard had all the girls hiding. And the girls and Richard watched from behind this big staircase as we were all interrogated and searched. And they made a run for it across a field behind the hospital. And this is several buildings, like a complex. It's like a compound. And they made it to a brick wall and jumped over it. And they landed in a ghetto. Just a straight up ghetto. And Richard said there was just gangsters partying all up and down the street. And he had to walk these girls down the street and get him to safety. This is why I was jealous, because I like to be the hero. That's why. I like to have the best story. They emerged onto a main street and went to a gas station. One of the girls found a cell phone in the bathroom of the gas station. They all had to pee again, right? This one's cell phones are relatively new, kind of new. So the phone rings and they answer it. And it's a taxi driver who left their phone in the bathroom of the gas station. The taxi driver comes to get his phone and says, "I'll give you guys a ride. Where are you guys going?" They needed a ride about 40 miles back home. Richard got those girls all home for free in a taxi. And we all got back to the neighborhood and met up and, oh, Frank, Vince, no. Richard the hero, of course. Pfft, scumbag. The video is spectacular. In the days before GoPro, we're going down that slide. Oh man, it was so fun. The third time I went to that place, I went with two girls. And I was, guess, trying to show off to the girls. And we went in there and it was scary that time because it was just me and two girls. And the police came that time too, and they were shining lights in the building. They knew we were in there somewhere, but I hid those girls. And that time I did, I guess, get to be the hero, because I got us out of there without getting in trouble. I never thought about that. By the way, rest in peace, Carla. Carla was a beautiful girl. She had a bone through her nose. And she was gorgeous. I don't know how many girls could pull off a bone through the nose like Carla. She was something else. And she rode a Harley. And she was just a cool chick. And a lot of rock and rollers in my area had crushes on Carla. Big time. She died on that motorcycle in Orange County on the freeway in Costa Mesa. Maybe 7-8 years ago. Very sad. Anyways. Hate to end the video on a sad note like that. Anyway, that's my story of the Los Amigos Hospital. Downey, California. The scariest and most fun place to spend a Halloween, or a day close to Halloween. I believe we threw the party from heck that year. Anyways, guys, glad I got to enjoy some vanilla cream and share a little Halloween adventure with you. I have many of them. Everybody have a really great Sunday tomorrow. God, I hope I get to go to Pipe Club. Hopefully I'll know in a few minutes here. Everybody have a terrific night also, if you're still awake. And I'll talk to you very soon. Bye, everybody. Love you very, very much.